Dino of the Deep. How monster Godzilla wolffish of Fukushima 5 times bigger than normal emerged after Japanese nuclear disaster. Japanese fishermen tell tales of massive mutant beasts which have been spotted in the years since the shocking tragedy. Monster fish with jaws big enough to swallow a child have been found lurking in the waters up the coast from the Fukushima nuclear disaster site. Fishermen tell tales of massive mutant beasts which have been spotted since the toxic tragedy which rocked Japan 8 years ago. One prehistoric-looking wolffish was even caught by a professional fish hunter after he went looking for one of the giants. Hirosaka Hiroshi reeled in the monstrous creature during a trip to Hokkaido, Japan's second-largest island, near eastern Russia. Normally the deep-sea species grow up to 3 feet in length, but the horror Hiroshi landed was more than 6 feet long and weighed 5 times more than usual. His Twitter profile states, "I live to chase interesting creatures," and reveals he has written a book called Exotic Fish Species, I Caught, Judged, and Tried Eating. It was worth flying to Hokkaido twice within 3 months. "This guy is super cool," the fisherman posted on Twitter. Because of the sheer size of the catch, many locals believe the sea beast could be a result of fallout from the disaster, but scientists say it could just be very old. It's like Godzilla. And they say their theories are backed up by the fact giant catfish were discovered near the site of the nuclear disaster at Chernobyl in the Ukraine. At that disaster site, the fish had grown to a record size even though divers who entered the toxic waters after the disaster suffered lethal radiation sickness and had to be buried in lead coffins. The earthquake and tsunami that hammered Fukushima on March 11, 2011 triggered meltdowns in 3 of its 6 reactors. However, more than 7 years on, scientists say radioactive water is continuing to flow into the Pacific Ocean from the crippled No. 1 plant. Terrifying wolffish are normally found on the ocean floors of the Atlantic and Pacific and rarely emerge from the depths. However, in 2017 we told how one was caught in Siberia after it reportedly tried to bite people who got too close to its lake. The fearsome creature, with a strong thick tail, rows of sharp teeth and powerful jaws, had terrified locals living near Lake Krugo in Siberia. Attacked locals. Some feared it was a mutant born after radioactive waste was dumped in the lake by a nearby chemical factory. And it is said to have tried to bite a number of people who had hoped for a close look at the freaky fish, according to reports in the Tomsk Oblast region. As for the deep-sea shocker caught near Japan, dubbed Godzilla by some, experts believe it is probably an extremely rare older specimen rather than an actual mutation. Very few mutations lead to extra-large size, said University of South Carolina radiation specialist Dr. Timothy Musso. Instead, they grow less efficiently, they're less capable of catching food, and they tend to not live as long. If you look hard and long enough, there's always a few that manage to survive long enough to achieve these large sizes. Last week, it was reported Japan was at the center of bizarre tsunami fears after a number of deep-sea fish believed to be harbingers of seismic doom washed up on the country's coast. Giant oarfish are known as the messengers from the sea god's palace and are said by some to appear on beaches ahead of submarine earthquakes. Locals say the massive serpent-like fish rise to the surface and beach themselves to escape being caught up in an underwater quake. Fish hunter Hirosaka Hiroshi reeled in the monster off the coast of Hokkaido.